What's up, guys? So I've had this car for about a month or two, and I think it's about time that I make a video of the top 5 things that I love about this car, because oh my god, do I love this car. Now before I get into the reasons of why I love this car, I want to explain what my thought process was behind the different things that I've thought of for why I love this car. I don't want to say the stuff that you've probably heard before. For example, the handling is amazing, the weight distribution is so good, etc, etc, etc. I want to say stuff that, because I've owned the car, I can now share with you, a viewer who does not own this car and does not know these things, so that you guys can have an idea of what it's like to actually own this car and know things about this car that I like that it takes owning the car to know. I hope that makes sense. That being said, the first thing that I love about this car is the seats. The seats in this car are amazing. They grip you so well through the corners and stuff like that, but also they manage to be comfortable at the same time, which is a rare combination. Honestly, if I wasn't looking into getting a 5-point or a 6-point harness, I would really keep these seats even for track use. They grip you so well, like I said, and they look really cool. The only thing that they lack is that they're not heated seats. But because this is a sports car that really focuses on being lightweight, the seats in this car are amazing, especially for being stock. Now the next thing that I love about this car is not really something that you can find on the car. It's the amazing aftermarket base for this car. Obviously, I'm looking into modifying this car. I've already done coils, next comes wheels, and then comes a lot of interior stuff. But the point is, I've done a lot of research on different parts for this car, and the amount of options that are available for this car that are like aftermarket parts is insane. Like anything that you can think of exists, and not only does it exist, but there's like 12 different options of it. So if you buy this car, you have no issues making it your own with as little or as much money as you have. The next thing that I love about this car is how easy it is to work on. The designers of this car knew that it was going to be a huge aftermarket tuning car, and so they made everything super easy. For example, everything that you need to access in the engine bay is like right on top. The oil filter, the intake, and all that stuff, it's just simply sitting on top. And also in the back of the car, the exhaust pipes, though they're only say like this big, the actual hole for them is like that big, so that when you buy an aftermarket exhaust like an Nvidia and one that's huge, you can fit it easily inside there without any shaving or any burning of the actual rear diffuser. The designers of this car knew what it was. It knew it was not going to stay stock for long, and they designed it with that in mind, and it makes it so easy to work on and so much fun of a project car. The next thing that I love about this car is something that really a lot of people who are watching this video will be like, really? Like that makes it to his top 5 list? But it's something that I really appreciate in this car, and that's the Tach. It has the RPMs directly in the middle with a little speedometer right next to it. So because it knows that generally you're gonna buy this car in a manual if you like cars. And so they put the parts that matter right there in front of you, so you can just look down and know exactly where you are. You know exactly what RPMs you're at, and you can dash your eyes into what speed you're going. You don't have to look over the Tach to figure out what's going on. And just that simplicity and the driver focusedness of the Tach really is something that I appreciate in this car. Also, a nice little feature is that you can set RPM warning. Like if you get to a certain amount of RPMs, it'll beep at you and flash so that you know you're getting close to the red line. And for people who are learning how to drive manual, like me, it's super helpful because I don't really have to be focused on the RPMs. And also, if you don't exactly know what the engine sounds like yet, you'll know that you're getting close to the red line before you can understand that you're hearing the engine getting close to the red line. The final thing that I love about this car probably is going to get a lot of controversy. And the reason for that is because it's the engine, which is the #1 most complained about and disliked part of this car. The engine only produces 200 horsepower out of its 2-liter boxer engine, and it's not enough power, and so it's not fun. That's probably the first thing that you hear about this car when you research it. A lot of people hate this car because it's so down on power, but the thing is, the engine in this car was designed specifically for this car. It was designed to be lightweight and have a really low center of gravity, which allows this car to be as much fun as it is. And also, because the engine is down on power, it makes it a lot of fun to rev out. Like you can get all the way to red line, shift it hard, go all the way to the next red line, and you can have as much fun as you want, and you're not going to get pulled over, because you're probably going to go around speed limit or maybe just a little bit above speed limit. This engine may be down on power, but that's not exactly a bad thing. Plus, this engine is very easy to get more power out of. Like, it's known for handling boost very well. In fact, there was a couple studies done where they took the same turbo from an EJ25, which is the Subaru STI's engine, and put it on the FRS. And it actually got more power out of the 2-liter in the FRS than it did in the 2.5-liter from the STI. If you want more power, All you need to do is supercharge it or turbocharge it, or simply add some bolt-ons, and you can get more power out of this car. The low power of this car really is not a factor that should stop people from buying it. In fact, it adds a completely new experience to the drive of this car because it's so low on power that you have so much fun, and you also have to learn how to control and drive a slow car fast, if that makes sense. So even though the engine is very slow and down on power, it's not exactly a bad thing. And for me, I really do like the fact that it's low on power, and it makes it one of my top 5 favorite things about this car. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video of the top 5 things that I love about my Scion FRS. Next week, I'm gonna make a video on the top 5 things that I hate about the FRS. So if you wanna hear like the opposite opinion of a person who's owned this car, make sure to stay tuned till then. But until then, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time.